Hey and welcome back to another episode of Just Call Me Josie. I am happy to say that it is time for the first project pan update, and this is on the running on empty product that I first saw on LS's channel. And now we are of course going to take a look at all of the progress that I have made during this past month. Some of the products have been quite easy to use and they have just sort of found their place in my routine naturally, and for those reasons I have been able to make some progress on them, whereas some of the items I have struggled a bit more with, but we will get into all of that right now. So let's take a look at all of the 8 individual products that I chose for this pan. So first let's take a look at the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. This is in the shade 00 Light Natural, and at the end of the summer I actually managed to get to this depth of color. I say depth very loosely because this is not deep at all, but for me it is. So now in August I actually didn't need to use the NYX Foundation White Mixer with it at all. I do use 2 full pumps each application, and I have only exclusively been using this one every time I've been putting on my makeup. So I'm happy to say I have actually made some progress on this one. I would say I am about halfway through, so I'm quite pleased with that. And if I do manage to keep this momentum up, I feel like I should be able to finish this one up just in time for next update. This foundation does look really flawless, let's say on camera or on any other occasion where you want that extra coverage, but for every day I have figured out that this is just way too thick and heavy for myself, so I will not be repurchasing this one once it runs out. This little guy has proven to be quite stubborn indeed. This is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Eyeshadow Primer, and I thought that this would be gone by now, but it is still hanging on for dear life. I feel like I am about halfway, actually not even halfway, but kind of halfway through this one. I've come to the conclusion that it takes absolutely forever to go through an entire eyeshadow primer because you use such a minuscule amount each time and you can't really pack it on, because that doesn't give you a better result with the eyeshadows at all. It sort of has the opposite effect. So a thin layer is the way to go, unfortunately, when you're trying to go through something, and they do put a lot of grams in them always. This one is 11 grams and that is a huge amount. I personally wouldn't mind if they put like 5 grams in an eyeshadow primer. I feel like that would be enough. This one actually has a 12-month shelf life, but I do believe that the Urban Decay eyeshadow primers only have 6 months shelf life if I'm not mistaken. So that one for sure could be half the amount of product and you still would have a hard time to go through it before it got bad. So yeah, that was my little rant on eyeshadow primers. I will keep working on this one each and every single day that I put on makeup, and hopefully it will be gone from my collection sooner rather than later, because I'm definitely in the mood for change. Next up we have the Black Magic Mascara from Eyeshadow, and this is in a travel size. It came with 4 milliliters. I don't know what I was thinking in the intro, but I actually didn't put any marks on it. I was thinking that it was mascara. You can't see through it and you can't put a mark, but this is a tube mascara. You can actually just take this applicator out and then you can quite easily see where the product is. So I should have done that in the intro so that you could have seen my progress, because it is very much possible with this type of tubing, but my brain was unfortunately not with me on that particular day. But I have made a line on where I am right now, so I will show you a close-up of that so you can see. I'm happy to say we are definitely on the home stretch with this one, not much left at all. So yeah, that is quite exciting. Actually, I bought the Hourglass mascara, the new Caution one, and I am super intrigued to try that one out, but I will finish this one up first because I don't like to have several mascaras open at once. So once this is done, I get to try that one, and that is quite the incentive to keep pushing on with this one. This is the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Spray. In this one, oh my god, I don't know what happened at all. I thought that I would fly through this one. I mean, it's a setting spray for crying out loud, but I have not made a lot of progress on this one at all. I'm quite shocked myself, I have to say. I think it's because this one is illuminating, and because of that it has sort of particles of shimmer throughout it, so you can't actually go ham like you would with a typical setting spray. You have to be a little bit more careful with this one, because if you do end up going ham, then you would definitely look like a disco ball. I don't feel like I have forgotten this. I feel like I do end up always finishing my makeup routine with spritzing this one on. At this rate, this one is going to take all the way until Christmas and probably into the new year as well. Now we are moving into the actual pans, and those are a lot easier to see the progress on. And first up we have Miss Marilu, and she is looking a little bit like this right now. You can now see that the first entire ring is visible in the pan, and it wasn't quite visible before, so that is definitely some progress. This one is taking a lot longer than I thought it would because I pack a lot of highlighter on. You can already see both the second ring as well as the third ring quite well, and I am not tired of this one. I do quite enjoy it. For the first part of August, I did actually mix Marilu with Champagne Pop from Becca because Champagne Pop is actually going to be way too dark for me in the sort of fall and winter time, so I did want to get some good use in on Champagne Pop before the summer ended, so I ended up mixing the two. Next up we have the contour pan from Makeup Geek, and I feel like this is a product that I've made by far the most progress on it, which is also quite surprising. I feel like I would have betted just way differently if I had to guess which products I would have made the most progress on, but as it turns out it was this one. I have not touched another bronzer at all since this product started. Bronzers, I probably said before, does not excite me that much. They're just brown powders in my opinion, so I don't really care which one I'm using. I know that one reason why it's been going this fast is because of this guy. I mean, this is a humongous brush from Real Techniques, and when I switched to this brush, this one just went so quickly. I just batted my eyelashes and it was pretty much gone. Here is another product from Makeup Geek. This is the single eyeshadow pan in Creme Brulee, and this one has been quite easy also. I feel like this one fits with every single look. It is just the perfect transition shade if you have a light skin tone and if you like a warm undertone. So this one has been going in my crease pretty much every single day that I've done my makeup, and I have been able to expand the pan quite a bit. And there is also a lot of dippage going around on the side, so it's sort of like a valley right now, and I'm quite pleased with that, I have to say. Lastly, we have the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Lovely, and this is probably my all-time favorite shade from them. They have since discontinued it, and it drives me insane. If I do see them bring this shade back, then I think I would actually pick it up again. Now this one I am quite conflicted with, and I'm kind of gonna ask you for help. As the month went on, I started to notice a huge change in the performance and the texture of this shadow, so I feel like unfortunately the magic has totally left this little pot. Putting this all over the lid is quite challenging now because it is so dry that it almost becomes crumbly and a bit flecky, and I get a lot more fallout now than I used to get when this was in a creamy base because that held the glitters in. On the inner corner though, it still kind of looks good. But on the lid, like I said, I am quite struggling with this one. So what are your thoughts? Should I just leave this one and bring in another Colourpop Super Shock Shadow that hasn't dried out, or should I keep on trying to finish this one up? Anyways, what are your thoughts? Do let me know. Okay guys, so that was my very first update on my running on empty project pan, and there will be a lot more updates to come. Hopefully not too many because the point is to go through them, but we'll see how far this one will run. I didn't want to put an end date on my first ever product because I was frankly too scared to do so. I also have a Pan That Palette project going, so there will be an update on that one shortly as well, so be on the lookout for that. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up before you go, and also feel free to subscribe. I upload 3 new videos every week and I would love to have you on board. Hopefully I will see you in my next video. Take care until then. Bye!